On the heels of a blockbuster Survivor Series War Games premium live event that saw Braun Breaker pin World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk to win the namesake match for his team, WWE Raw hit the Netflix airwaves Monday night from the Desert Diamond Arena with a show that Triple H said would be epic. Was it? Find out in this recap featuring live ratings and analysis for each of the night's matches and segments. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by the Phenom, Michael Bullock. We are awaiting the presence of good old MF Michael Fletcher. If he comes in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, then we will have him hopefully back with us Thursday night for our season finale of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday. Monday Night Raw last night from the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. And we started it off with a promo segment. On the heels of a victory inside War Games, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky kicked off Raw by announcing their intention to continue their rivalry with the Kabuki Warriors, and to do so by challenging them for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, the former champions, took exception and confronted the duo known collectively as Rio. The former laid down the challenge for a match between the two teams later in the show, which Ripley and Sky accepted. The promo segment was fine and sets up a big main event between four of the biggest stars in the women's division. But it was so creatively bankrupt that it almost diminishes it as a result. We want a tag title match. No, we want a tag title match. It has been done to death and in more dynamic promo exchanges. So we don't really need to dive into this. But we will address the main event, though, later in the show for sure. Our first match of the night was the first of the two semifinal matches in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Main event, Jey Uso squaring off against LA Knight. And LA Knight wins the match, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Solid match between two babyfaces who knew how to work the crowd. The match never slowed. No one really assumed the role of the de facto heel. And the crowd was with LA Knight and Jey Uso through the finish. More importantly, it propelled Jey Uso's narrative forward after weeks of starting it, then stopping it for the sake of building to War Games. It's a 3 to 3.25 star match. And, well, it looks like the wheels are in motion for a possible Jey Uso heel turn. And that was definitely the first step toward that heel turn when he threw around the Prime cart and the Prime Energy station and throwing around the steel steps. You could see that frustration in the eyes and in the mannerisms of Jey Uso, and it's definitely leading to a heel turn down the road. So there isn't much more to say on this. It's a 3 to 3.25 star match. A bit of a surprising outcome. I was honestly expecting it to be Jey Uso and Gunther to give them a rubber match. But no, they gave it to LA Knight, and that's huge for him. So we'll see what happens with LA Knight come Friday night on SmackDown when he takes on the winner of Gunther and Solo Sikoa in the finals of the Last Time Is Now tournament for the right to be the final opponent of John Cena in John Cena's Hall of Fame career. So not much more. Michael Bullock, come on in. 3 to 3.25 stars is my rating. LA Knight defeating Jey Uso 9 minutes and 45 seconds. And Jey Uso, well, I hate to say it, but I think we saw the first step toward a possible heel turn.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we are seeing the first step towards a heel turn. I mean, we all kept hoping that maybe this wasn't going to happen, but it looks like they're on their way to it. I mean, it's a good first step to it. We'll see how much more we see out of this. So, yeah, 3.25. Yeah, surprising outcome. I mean, with LA Knight winning it, and now he's in the finals and we'll find out later in the night who his opponent will be in the finals to determine who's going to face John Cena in John Cena's final match on Saturday night's main event. So there's really nothing more to say. So let's move on, Florio.
Well, before we do, we have good old MF Michael Fletcher. He has just joined us. So, MF, we didn't really address the opening promo segment because, it was fine, okay for what it was, even though it set up a huge main event, which we will most certainly address. But the only thing you missed really was the first match. The last time is now tournament semifinal matchup. LA Knight upsetting Jey Uso 9 minutes and 45 seconds. But then after the match, Jey Uso absolutely snaps. And if I didn't know better, I'd say it was the first step towards the long-awaited heel turn.
It definitely was. Basically, it wasn't. The snap was expected. He lost at War Games. He was the reason. He was one of the reasons why they lost War Games. He's been on a little bit of a cold streak. Everything's starting to go wrong, and now he's starting to feel the pressure. LA Knight with a humongous win on his way to the final Friday night. He gets a shot to possibly be able to be the last guy to fight John Cena. At the end of the day, it was a solid victory, a tremendous victory for LA Knight, and a lot of people are not going to be mad at it. A lot of people thought it was going to be Jey going to the finals. I think a lot of people felt like Jey was going to be at the final, but it's not him. It's LA Knight, and it was a solid back and forth matchup. LA Knight just got him. He caught him with a nice little roll up, the roll up of doom. Nobody gets out of a roll up, and sure enough, LA Knight gets the win. I want to say about 2.5 to 3 for the victory, and yeah, nothing more to say. Let's move on.
All right, MF, you'll be starting off our next matchup here. All right, got a lot of things coming up. All right. All right, then we had another promo segment here. It was the Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio told the fans in Glendale, Arizona, that he is the greatest of his family, the king of the luchadors, and the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. He gave props to his Judgment Day teammates, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez for helping him out Saturday night, and then called out his main squeeze, Liv Morgan. Morgan exclaimed, "I'm back." She talked about missing Dom and her Judgment Day friends before turning her attention to rumors and speculation that the Judgment Day is weak and or falling apart. She said Judgment Day now runs Monday Night Raw and is coming for everything and everyone. And then Liv slaps Dominic before jumping in his arms to close things out. And, well, MF, I'm sure you saw the show that Bullock and I did on Sunday night, our Survivor Series recap. Liv back in the Judgment Day. Is this the shot in the arm that they need to, get back on track and be that dominant faction they once were?
It looks like it's gonna be, because look at the repercussions. Look at everything that has happened up to this point. I mean, the minute Liv Morgan is returned, look at the Judgment Day. They look even more stronger, more united than ever before. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind the Judgment Day is going to be a problem now on Monday Night Raw. Anthony, good luck with this one, because it looks like the Judgment Day might be running the roost for a little bit. Dom getting the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship back. Now he's got the Mega Copion in AAA, the world title. And not only that, but now we may see Liv Morgan start invading AAA. I hope my buddies up in Mexico is ready for that, because now you might get Liv Morgan in Mexico. Oh my God. You thought having Chelsea Green and Lola Vice there. Now you get Liv, possibly, because of Dominic being the Mega Copion. You might see Liv Morgan invade a little more now. So who knows? But did you also notice what she said about the dead weight? About that she was looking at fixing things. She looked right at Finn Balor. She looked squarely at Balor more than anybody else. She praised JD. She praised Raquel. But the two she had on the radar more than anybody else was Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez. Definitely keep an eye on that more than anything else, because that might be a clue of who she thinks the dead weight is in Judgment Day. And quite frankly, I don't think Missy is really wrong about it. I don't think she's wrong. I don't see that she's wrong here. It's just my personal opinion. But God, do I love. And I know Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock side-eyed on Monday night, but I reiterated it again. That all was right in the world. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, the golden couple of WWE, reunited, and it felt so good. I said it, I reiterated it last night as the heel commentator on Monday Night Raw, and I told you that again. And I know, what was it? What was it? Wade Barrett was trying to classify it like Romeo and Juliet. No, hell no. This is not Romeo and Juliet. This is like Julius Caesar and Cleopatra. This is like King Arthur and Guinevere, man. These are people that love. This isn't no tragic poet story. This is what it's meant to be. And I know Michael Bullock and Anthony Florio were both giving me the side eye, giving me the give me a break. And come on, Fletch. But I'm going to say
and me saying, where's the damn barf bag?
Yeah. And I was like, excuse you? How dare you? And when he said that too. So all I'm going to say is that it's going to be very interesting to see how the Judgment Day is going to roll out. I've already said it. I think this is going to be very interesting. But like I said, Liv was addressing those rumors. She was addressing those comments, like you said, Anthony. But the looks could kill type thing. When she was talking about some of the stuff, she was definitely singling out Balor, and she was singling out Roxanne Perez. They know what's going on. She knows what's going on. She sees what's been at play while she was away. That's why she tried to nip it in the butt, because she's like, We're the Judgment Day. And she, like I said, immediately she has grabbed the reins and is like, no, I'm the leader. I'm going to be the voice of the Judgment Day now. And we're going to run through Monday Night Raw and get all the gold back. We're not messing around. We're not goofing around. We are out for blood now. We're about to show the entire WWE that the Judgment Day always have and always will be the most dominant faction in the industry. And guess what? You can already see it. After some of the moves that went down on Monday Night Raw last night, Anthony, it looks like the Judgment Day are fixing themselves to set themselves up to become that dominant force again. We'll talk about a lot of the things that went down, but you can already see it. You can already see certain moves starting to come together. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, you can say that they're back, but like you even said, Fletch, we gotta, because like you said, Liv Morgan had her eye on Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez. I mean, something stinks about that. I mean, and let's not forget, Finn Balor and Liv Morgan, they haven't been like, it's not like everything's coming up roses with them.
Oh no.
Because when she was even around, there was like some back and forth, and there were times Raquel was trying to play the role of like, Raquel was trying to play the role of peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
But every time, I mean, Finn was like, "Hey Raquel, can you tell Liv to stop acting like a little child?" And then when Raquel would try to say something, then it's like, "Oh, Raquel, can you tell Finn to stop acting like a total douchebag?" Yeah, when they first, and then who was the one that brought Roxanne Perez to the Judgment Day?
It was Balor.
And who disapproved of it?
Mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan.
Liv.
So
because she knew instantly unexplicably or unequivocally, you knew what was happening. You knew what was happening. Finn was driving the wedge.
Finn was trying to kick Liv Morgan to the curb.
Yep.
So
and he was going to use Roxanne Perez to try to drive that wedge and try to scoop Dom to try to make him make a mistake. Now, did he make a mistake or not? I mean, there might have been something going on that we don't know about
don't forget, who got Dom a PS3?
Wasn't it Liv?
I thought it was PS5.
No, it was Roxanne.
PS5
or PS5, one of those things.
She hooked him up with the PS5 and remembered the chicken and then the chicken nuggets the first time around when Liv was away.
So you could see that Roxanne was trying to put the moves on Dom, try to make her or make him forget about Liv.
And there was one other thing that was very important, and I just want to be very quick about this, and I know I gotta be quick. Remember that night on Monday Night Raw when Dom says, "I don't cheat," or that I always am as one of the most honest people that I don't cheat? Did you see that reaction from Roxanne Perez? How she had that cutie smile? How she's trying to hold in a little giggle, like a girly laugh? Like she knew something. She knew something's up.
Oh.
No, I'm dead serious. And I think this was like, oh God, 3 weeks or a month ago before Liv came back. And Dom said that. And me and Anthony actually called it out on a ridiculously Raw. We both called it out. You weren't here, Bullock. I think you were just either
Roxanne
commitments. No, you had the commitments beyond your control. You couldn't be with us that night. But me and Florio both called it out. And we're like, wait, what was that all about? What does she know that we don't know?
It's like Roxanne didn't take too kindly to that.
No. It wasn't that she took kindly to it. It's that it almost was like I know something you guys don't know. Was she implying that maybe her and him did something behind the scenes that we don't know about? Because he was saying, how he's so innocent that I would never cheat. I'm not a cheater. I would never cheat like that. And Roxanne kind of dipped her head.
Povich when you need him for a lie detector test.
The lie detector test. Oh boy, I don't know. You tell me.
So that way you can be like, Dom, did you ever cheat on your girl Liv Morgan? You said no, and the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Well, we'll never know. Maybe he was loyal, maybe he wasn't. I don't know, but Roxanne's reaction told me the whole goddamn story that night. Told me the whole damn story that night.
You can say everything's all roses with the Judgment Day for now, but
it's going to come to a point where the ice is going to break.
Yeah, the river's gonna the dam's gonna break, and somebody's gonna end up. It's gonna end badly for someone, and it could end badly.
Yep.
I mean, for Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez, they were the ones who started the cracks. Eventually, somewhere down the line, they may have to pay for it.
Well, we'll see
We just
because
don't know
because right now it looks like they are a well-oiled machine right now, man. I do
Well,
not. I got a
well, for
bad
now.
feeling about for now, but I'm saying right now, I got a bad feeling for everybody on Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I said,
definitely.
earlier, Anthony, you got some problems coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
that's
it.
why I
I
said
feel it.
for right now, everything is all good. They're a well-oiled machine. But somewhere down the line, the dam's gonna break,
Yes, it is.
and it's not gonna end well for Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez.
And we'll leave it at that.
And we'll leave it at that. So
All
nothing
right.
more for me to say. I mean, solid promo. So Florio. Everything is fine and up and coming roses for the Judgment Day, but
For
at
now.
some point the dam's gonna break.
Absolutely. Liv Morgan got the monster pop for her return, one befitting a legitimate star, which she has absolutely become over the last 2 years. The promo segment itself was fine, with the highlight being Morgan seemingly suggesting she is the glue that holds the Judgment Day together and keeps it strong. How well that goes over with Balor and with Finn Balor and what it means for her long-term future with the group remains to be seen. So we're going to leave it at that. World Tag Team Championship on the line. Champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defending against the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. And the winners of the match, 9 minutes and 5 seconds. And still the World Tag Team Champions, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Michael Bullock, started off with you here. Styles and Lee, still the World Tag Team Champions, defeating the New Day, 9:05.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid match. I mean, I'll give this about maybe 3 stars. I mean, the outcome to me was never in doubt. And man, I mean, when it comes to the New Day, and here's another thing I got to talk to you guys about. What happened exactly 1 year ago today?
1 year ago today, the New Day turned their back on Big E.
And they thought that everything was going to be different for them when they did that. Yeah. How's that going for you two right now?
They did have a World Tag Team title run.
Yeah,
winning the
they
titles at
did,
WrestleMania.
but what have they done since then?
But what have they done for? It's the classic question of what have they done for us lately? And I can answer that question. Carry the one, carry the two. Oh yeah, a big fat squadouche. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did have that initial run with the World Tag Team titles, but ever since then it's been absolutely nothing for them. So yeah, so if they thought everything was going to be good for them without Big E, well, it just hasn't gone the way they were hoping for. So 3 stars for me. Yeah, so Florio, 1 year ago today, they turned on Big E. Yes, it did work at the beginning when they won the World Tag titles, but since then, it's been a big fat goose egg for them.
Yeah, and they've pretty much gotten lost in the shuffle on that one. But before that, there was a vignette featuring Natalya training Maxine Dupree, hinting at the upcoming arrival of the low-key legend persona that Natty has used in her handful of independent appearances. That's something we got to keep an eye on. Fun tag team match that may have been even better with a little more time. New Day are already extraordinary, among the best teams to ever do it. But AJ Styles and Dragon Lee demonstrated some superb chemistry here, and the finish was top 5 of the year on WWE television. And then backstage, Liv Morgan approached the Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer and casually reminded her that she is back, hinting that she will be the next challenger for La Primera and the Women's World Championship. But for right now, this was a solid 3-star match. Not much more to say. MF, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, still the World Tag Team Champions in 905.
Solid matchup. Definitely a 3-star bout. Great battle all the way through. I hate to say it. New Day's ran its course on the heels. I think it's time to turn them back. I think there's as much as far as you can go with the heel run. They're trying to reinvent themselves. They're trying to work it. They're trying to work every angle. But if there was ever a time for them to have won the belts, this probably would have been it. But, AJ and Dragon Lee are fine champions. That ending sequence is an oh my god. Are you flipping kidding me? To do a double foot stomp for Kofi to bungee off the ropes right into the Styles Clash? Are you kidding me? That was the pop of the night. I couldn't even, even my friends and myself, we marked the hell out with that moment. We could not believe that just happened. That was an incredible sequence to close the match. 3-star bout. And for the champions, they go right back into the fire because now they ask for the War Raiders. Now, don't get me wrong. War Raiders, fine opponents, good challengers, everything else. But with the Judgment Day back on the fold as everything else, guys, it's only a matter of time before JD McDonough and Finn Balor gets those belts back. I truly believe now that we live in the captain's bird seat and everything else, I think JD and Finn might be the next tag team champions now. And if I'm La Primera, Stephanie Volker, I would be a little concerned right now knowing that Liv Morgan is sniffing around and that she's looking at your women's world title. Don't get me wrong, La Primera. Don't get me wrong, Dark Angel. You're amazing. I love you. And you're one of the best in the game. You are the best in the game. As a matter of fact, you probably, after beating Nikki Bella, you practically cemented yourself as the female wrestler of the year. But if there's one person that could possibly knock you off your perch, it's a returning Liv Morgan. Liv is one of those names that I don't think you can even mention it. There's certain people that, if you really think about it, who could legitimately beat Stephanie Volker for the title. Rhea Ripley. If you want to talk about Bianca Belair, fine, you can say her name. Liv Morgan is one of those names that can actually take the belt, run with the title, and do an amazing job as a champion. She can. There's no doubt about it. And with the legs that she's got, and it looks like with the monumental push that she might be about getting. Remember that threat about the Judgment Day taking everything? I think it's very possible, guys. I think 2026 might be the year of the Judgment Day. You just might want to batten down the hatches and, Anthony, you better start praying that the Judgment Day does not take over Monday Night Raw, but I got a sneaky suspicion that it's about to happen. Your worst nightmare is about to come true. Judgment Day might be running Monday Night Raw and might be running that sucker rough shot.
So that is indeed a possibility. So, and there's more to that story when we get to our main event. So there's more to that. All right. Still braggadocious following the Vision's victory at Survivor Series. Paul Heyman cut an impassioned promo shouting out every one of the members of his War Games team before labeling Braun Breaker the uncrowned World Heavyweight Champion. Braun Breaker said, "I'm upset by how easy it was to pin CM Punk." The second generation star cut an angry promo in which he vowed to tear CM Punk apart and beat him for the top prize on the Raw brand, the first Raw of 2026, January 5th. at the Barclays in Brooklyn on Netflix. He threw down the microphone and stomped off, leaving his teammates behind. This was a big moment for Bron Breakker. He had a chance to star on the mic, and he made the most of it, showing the fire you want out of a top star. With that said, he probably needs to rein it in a bit as to remain coherent. At the same time, his unbridled energy is what makes him stand out. Paul answering Breakker's rant with "yeah" was a fun touch, and I'm just gonna say it like this, guys. And you know how I am on this show. I always tell it like it is. Well, I'm gonna tell it like it is, and then some, right here and right now, when it comes to this segment here. What I loved about Bron Breakker's promo on Raw is that it felt genuinely raw, no pun intended. He was doing things that were unorthodox, pacing left to right, making the camera follow him instead of standing still like most wrestlers do. He wasn't worried about the camera. He made the camera come to him. He even let out this nervous little laugh when he almost stumbled on a word. And then he snapped right back into that same style that his uncle, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner delivery. It gave off that "you effed up" with the wrong guy at the bar vibe. The kind where he chuckles because he knows you just made a mistake messing with him. I loved everything about this promo, and the best part is that he is only going to get better. A fantastic job by Bron Breakker. And I'm going to take it a step further. January 5th, he's no longer going to be the uncrowned World Heavyweight Champion because he's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion. I'm calling it right here, right now. You want to start 2026 off with a bang? Strap Bron Breakker. That's how you start it off with a bang. So, I mean, what can come out of this? I mean, the only reason why CM Punk is even the World Heavyweight Champion is because Seth Rollins is injured. That's it. I mean, am I happy that he's champion? Sure. Absolutely. He deserves it, especially after the last 2 years. But the only reason he's even champion right now, like I said, is because of Seth's injury. And I truly believe, in the words of MF, that Bron Breakker is going to become the next World Heavyweight Champion. He's going to walk out of the Barclays as the new heavyweight champion of the world. And I know all the hoopla is all about Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and the whole 9 yards, but an idea that I heard is that you have CM Punk go to SmackDown and go after Cody Rhodes in the WWE Championship. And then, depending on Seth Rollins' injury, if Seth Rollins is cleared to compete by the time we get to Mania, then you can have Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, which would fit in the context of that story when Breakker and Reed turned on Seth Rollins. So that's just something to think about there, guys. But make no mistake about it. This was the segment of the night. Fantastic promo by Bron Breakker. I don't know what else there is to say. MF, I know WWE's gotten some flack recently, and most of it is justified. But after what we saw last night, when it comes to Bron Breakker, that was the first step to building one hell of a star for the future. And January 5th, 2026, Brooklyn, Barclays, first Raw of the year. Bron Breakker is going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. Book it.
I like everything you said, except you're wrong. He's not winning it in Barclays. And I don't give a damn about your prediction or your spoiler you just dropped. The way I see it, it goes like this. Yes, great promo. Best promo by Bron Breakker in his entire career. That was a breakout moment for him. I do agree that Braun Breaker will eventually become the heavyweight champion of the world. But right at the moment in the Barclays that it thinks like it's going to happen, burn it down. Seth freaking Rollins will make an appearance. Now, he's not going to be ready to wrestle, but he's going to create a distraction long enough that the Unbreakable Badass will make a mistake and CM Punk will still be the heavyweight champion of the world. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, why would they do that? It's simple. Because you're not going to give him the title at the Barclays. You're going to want to give it to him at a bigger event. You're going to want to do it maybe in Saudi Arabia. Now, I do believe your theory of everything going on. Like, Braun Breaker will become a heavyweight champion of the world in 2026. I do agree with that. You could even say, you could even have him win the title at WrestleMania. Fine by me. I can agree with that. But January 5, Barclays in Brooklyn, Braun is not walking out the heavyweight champion of the world. And I am almost certain about that. Something or someone is going to prevent that from happening. Because they're not going to want to put the belt on Braun that soon. If they do, all right. I'll eat my words on it. But I will say this. The theory that I would have is everybody was talking about Roman and, Roman versus Cody. That's the working theory that's going on. That's what's been the whole situation, and we're going to see how that plays out. But the thing is that everybody talks about the vision. And you notice, what was the one thing Adam Pearce talked about? Seth is out with the sling. Seth is out of the sling. And you don't think for 1 second that Seth freaking Rollins is not going to go after Braun Breaker, not going to go after Bronson Reed, not going to go after Paul Heyman? And now you just gave him a target where to attack. So what if Anthony Floyo's theory is right? What if at Barclays that comes up? Counterpoint. Seth Rollins shows up just for the hell of it to screw Braun Breaker out of the title. Why? Simple. Because you are the one that prevented me from continuing my reign and forced me to forfeit the belt. And you want the accolades and you want the moment and glory all to yourself? Hell freaking no. I'm not letting you do that. That's like you, Floyd, or you, Michael Bullock. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, and you take me out. Floyo gets the shot at Barclays. You think I'm going to sit for 1 goddamn second to see you win the heavyweight championship of the world? My world heavyweight championship? Oh, hell no. I'm curb stomping your ass the minute I see you. You're dead on sight. That's what Seth Rollins is going to do to Braun Breaker. He is going to curb stomp his freaking ass dead on sight. And dead on sight could be Barclays in Brooklyn. Yeah, let's start Monday Night Raw with a bang. The return of Seth freaking Rollins. Bullock, I give you the floor.
Whew. Wow. I don't know how I'm going to follow that. I mean, I'll give it my best, but man, that's why Fletch is our hype man. I mean, he just gave us the reason why. So nothing more for me to say. Great promo by Braun, but I'm sorry for it. I see Fletcher's side going more. I mean, just when you think on that first Raw 2026 when Braun's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship, you're going to hear that burn it down, and Seth Rollins is going to screw Braun Breaker because him and Bronson Reed turned on Seth Rollins. You think for one damn second Seth Rollins is going to let something like that slip by? Hell freaking no. He wants to make sure, like, hey, you screwed me. You made me relinquish the title when you attacked me, and you think you're gonna get it. Hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You effing forced me to relinquish the title. Now I'm gonna make damn sure that you don't win the title. Yes, I mean, do I hate CM Punk? Hell yes, I do. But I hate you two even more, and especially Braun Breaker because you put me out of damn action. So that's the way I see it happening. So nothing more to say. It's yours for you.
Okay. So that takes us now to the other semifinal match in the Last Time Is Now tournament. The Ring General Gunther squaring off against Solo Sikoa. Winner of the match in roughly an even 19 minutes. And advancing to the final, the Ring General Gunther. So, MF, we have our final on your show, Friday night on SmackDown. LA Knight versus Gunther. The winner gets John Cena in Washington, D.C. on the 13th at Saturday Night's Main Event. Gunther wins this match over Solo in roughly an even 19 minutes.
Can I say fight of the night, and can I also say that this was the best match Solo Sikoa has ever been in?
Amen.
He absolutely... Gunther made Solo into a star last night. He made Solo Sikoa. So much so that I think Solo won a few fans over last night with his performance. Like, that was exactly what we wanted to see from Solo Sikoa. This was the perfect matchup, the perfect opponent, and the perfect setup. Solo was made to look like a badass, and he was. Gunther was already a badass, and he's already been great, and he's even greater now. To me, this was a slam dunk. Fight of the night level match. This was easily 4 stars. And the thing is that at the end of the night, yes, the right man won. Gunther deserves to go to the finals. And I think we all can say Gunther's probably going to beat LA Knight on Friday. But Solo also comes out of this looking like $1,000,000. And now you got to really look long and hard about maybe Solo having a big run in 2026. Now, I don't know about the rest of the year, but if Solo wants to be the next big thing, this might be it. So for me, this was his personal best and probably his best performance, in WWE, period, for Solo Sikoa. Gunther is just another night in the office, man. He does banger after banger. Every match that he's been in, he's had either 4 or 5 star level matches. You can go to the NXT UK to now WWE. He's had certain matches where we're just like, oh my God, like this guy's insane. He proved it yet again. Another fabulous match, another 4-star match for me. Nothing more to say. Fight of the night, Michael Bullock, is yours.
Fight of the night indeed, but I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. This was everything we expected it to be when you got these two. I mean, it was smash mouth, it was hard hitting, and like you said, this was Solo Sikoa's best match that he's ever had. And what better person than the Ring General to be the one to do that? So, yeah, so our finals are set. LA Knight and Gunther this Friday night on SmackDown. The winner gets John Cena in his final match on Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. on December 13th, exclusively on Peacock. So we'll see what happens. For me, it's a 4.5-star match. It's yours, Florio.
4.25, teetering on 4.5. This was the best match of Solo's career, absolutely. And another banger in a long line of them from the standard bearer when it comes to the in-ring product in WWE. Gunther has been excellent for a long time, but he returned from a hiatus and has delivered time and time again, working great in completely different matches with Javon Evans, Carmelo Hayes, and Solo Sikoa. Who knows what next week, Friday night, holds, but if recent history is any indication, win or lose, Gunther is going to deliver between the bells. 4.25, teetering on 4.5. No argument here. This was the fight of the night. Absolutely. And next week, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee will defend the World Tag Team Championship against the War Raiders. The winner of the Last Time Is Now tournament will also be on the show. And one-on-one, we're going to have Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor. That all goes down next Monday night, Michael Bullock's birthday in Kansas City. So, happy birthday, Bullock, on that one. Okay. Main event of the evening. You could, even though they didn't technically call it a number one contenders match, you could make an argument that it was. Excuse me. It was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. The match, unfortunately, it ends in a no contest in 14 minutes and 25 seconds as the Kabuki Warriors interfered, and then Bayley and Lyra Valkyria shows up, and then Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan, they come out, and all hell breaks loose, and at the end of the night, the Judgment Day, the women of the Judgment Day, stand tall. Michael Bullock, what do you make of all this? A no contest in 14:25. The women's tag team division has gotten a lot of flack over the years, and I can understand why, questionable booking and underutilization, but I can honestly say that last night was maybe the most prominent that the women's tag team division has been featured, and it's about damn time.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. I mean, and I'm definitely happy about that. I mean, look, I know people are going to, I know I have every right to give this an NA because it ended in a no contest, but in a match that was like over 14 and a half minutes, it was just too good. So I'm going to give this about 3.25, teetering on 3.5. So yeah. So like I said, so it looks like the Judgment Day feel like the women, they want those tag team titles. So Adam Pearce is going to have some tough decisions to make here. So yeah, so like I said again, I have every right to give this match a no rating, but it was just too good. I had to give it 3.25, 3.5. So it's yours, Florio.
The match itself was quite good, particularly down the stretch following the tag to Rhea Ripley. The action was great. The heat was off the charts. And the tease finish was a great choice, if it was in fact the finish. The run-ins highlighted the depth of the women's tag team division, which still feels like it is woefully underwritten and underdeveloped, despite the wealth of talent on the roster. Liv Morgan paying off her warning from earlier in the night by standing tall with Rodriguez and Perez, who she handed the tag titles over to after a momentary hesitation was a nice choice and ensured her words did not ring hollow. It also intensified the hints that Morgan and Perez will inevitably have issues after the latter moved in on Dirty Dom during Liv's absence. 3.25, teetering on 3.5 stars. Normally, we give non-finishes NA, but this match was just too good. We can't put an NA on it. 3.25, 3.5. MF, your thoughts on all the mayhem here? No contest in 14:25, and then all that hell breaking loose.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is that me and a few of the guys from the Discord crew, we actually were expecting this to turn into chaos, and it did. I don't think we expected Judgment Day to get involved, but we thought Lyra and Bailey were going to get involved. We knew Kabuki Warriors were going to get involved. We were actually talking about possibly a fatal 4-way. Now we got a 5-way, possibly. So we're like, yeah, this might have to be a special stipulation. We're thinking maybe something like a women's tables or a women's ladder for the titles, and we're like, yeah, we should probably do it. Yeah, this is probably going to happen, and we're thinking, and now there's a number of ways this can go. Saturday night's main event. Could this be on the Monday Night Raw at Barclays? On that January 5 show? Could that be where this goes down? Or could this be? I know this is gonna seem a little crazy, but is it possible this could be Saudi Arabia? Could this be at the Royal Rumble at Saudi? So I don't know. There's a number of ways they can do this. Adam Pearce is going to have a problem on his hands, and he's probably going to be reaching for the Tylenol right about now because of all these teams going at it. And I know Nick Aldis is probably going to call him like, hey, wait a minute now. What the hell happened? My team just got screwed over here. Well, you got to fix this, Adam. You better fix this, bro. What the hell? So, I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. But, oh boy, did it, at least 3.5, 3.75. But, oh boy, Pearce has got a major problem on his hands now. The women's tag team division just went from 0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds, man. It exploded real fast.
Absolutely. And you talk about a possible, you said something about a possible table match. Well, I'm going to do you one better. How about tables, ladders, and chairs?
That was one thing that we were talking about. We were talking about that, yeah.
Man, oh man. But we will definitely see where that leads. So, all right. So with that being said, overall thoughts and excuse me. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give this in excess of, I want to say somewhere around 7.5, maybe teetering on 8. From Braun Breaker's big promo to Liv Morgan's return, the brilliant Gunther versus Solo match, to Jey Uso's crash out, this was a vast improvement on the premium live event from Saturday night and gave fans disenfranchised or unsatisfied with Survivor Series a reason to be hopeful as the company embarks on the road to WrestleMania 42. A building block show that reaffirmed who the key players will be, introduced others to the fray, and confirmed that the Judgment Day is in fact back. It was a win for a company that needed some positive momentum following a somewhat underwhelming extravaganza. 7.5, teetering on 8 out of 10 is my rating. MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, 7.5 to 8. I thought it was a fine show. I thought they did a really good job. Nothing more to say, but quick.
7.5 to 8 for me. I mean, I agree with everything you guys said. So let's get into NXT.
From the Performance Center in the CWC, of course, and all right, let's break it down here. NXT deadline is coming up on Saturday night, and that meant it would be all hands on deck to sell the premium live event and make it worth watching. We heard from a few people who will be competing at deadline, but we also had the usual array of action we get every week. Following the events of last week, General Manager Ava booked an 8-man tag team main event with all 4 members of Dark State squaring off against Joe Hendry, Javon Evans, TNA X Division champion Leon Slater, and Miles Bourne. Let's take a look at everything that happened on tonight's episode of NXT. The show opened with Ava standing in the ring with the 5 women who will compete in the Iron Survivor match Saturday night at Deadline. You have Kalani Jordan. You have Jordan Grace. You have the Evolve Women's Champion Kendall Gray. You have Lola Vice. And you have Sol Ruca. All 5 of these women handpicked by John Cena to participate in the Women's Iron Survivor match, where the winner will challenge JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship at New Year's Evil next month. As I was saying, Ava stood in the ring with this was an Iron Survivor, a Women's Iron Survivor match summit. That's what they called it. Each woman took a turn giving a short promo about why they will win. Kalani Jordan getting that Dominic Mysterio, Logan Paul style go away heat. She got the most heat when she spoke, and she had to try to talk over the boos. She didn't seem too thrown off by it, but the boos were so loud that they distracted from her a bit. But she definitely lost it when the fans told her to shut the F up. Fatal Influence came out so JC Jane could talk some trash to everyone. Kalani Jordan and Jordan Grace kicked off a huge brawl. This segment could have easily dragged on for way too long, but it felt well-timed and succinct. Promos were pretty standard stuff heading into a PLE, but Kalani Jordan was definitely the standout due to the crowd's reactions, and the heat that Kalani was getting was awesome, and WWE needs to capitalize on her heel momentum and give her a strong push heading into 2026. So gentlemen, if you want to address the promo segment, feel free. Otherwise, or we could just acknowledge the field here. I mean, the 5 women that were handpicked by John Cena to compete in this Women's Iron Survivor matchup: Kalani Jordan, Jordan Grace, Kendall Gray, Sol Ruca, Lola Vice.
No surprise on Lola. No surprise on Sol. Both deserving.
Yes.
For Kalani, definitely worthy of the moment because of what she's done, not only in that, in TNA. The Juggernaut, Jordan Grace going through, no big surprise. I was stunned when I heard Kendall Gray's name.
Jada Parker, anyone? Jada Parker?
Yeah, I think Jada got robbed on that spot.
Yeah,
I mean, you could say her. You can make Fallon Henley. You could say JC Jane. Like, there's
JC Jane's the women's champion, so
yeah. But still, there's a few names that you can say. Even though Kendall Gray has done an amazing job in Evolve, I think that was the name that we just saw that was out of right field. We're like, really? Her?
Over
okay. Yeah, well, no, I'm not mad about it, but that was the stunner. That was the stunning call. So, as far as it goes, I'm gonna say it. I think Kalani's the odds-on favorite because of what just happened. I really think Kalani could win this. Now, I know some people are pushing for Sol to be the one, but I don't think Sol's going to win because maybe Zarya costs her the Iron Survivor. I don't know. I know there's something there because I think they're going to do Sol versus Zarya. I think that's the end game. I think those two are going to go at it. Maybe Lola could win it all. Because Lola never really got a fair shake the first time around when she went for the belt. So maybe they give it to her again. And she's mega over right now. Not just in NXT, but in AAA too. You could utilize Lola as a fighting champion in Mexico. Imagine the war she could possibly have in Mexico as the NXT women's champion. Oh yeah. You can see that. So I don't know. We'll wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, nothing more to say. Bullock, if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could definitely see it, but like you said, I think Kalani Jordan, I think, is going to be the one to win the women's Iron Survivor Challenge. But yeah, it's not going to be Sol Ruka because I got a feeling there's going to be a thing with her and Zarya. So, but yeah, I mean, a crazy segment overall. So nothing more for me to say. So let's move on for you.
Well, it wouldn't be an NXT without a cutout, and we have a cutout here. Thea Hale with Joe Hendry in her corner, squaring off against Ariana Grace with her fiance and soon-to-be husband, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, in her corner. Thea Hale winning the match 2 minutes and 46 seconds. That's all this got. And Booker T, not on the show on commentary. Corey Graves filled in, just to let you all know, if you were wondering where Booker was. Not much to this, but the way it played out made sense for the story they are telling. It might not be the best fight of the night, but this is one of those times when short and sweet was the right way to go, I guess. Then we had Josh Briggs squaring off against Tavion Heights. Josh Briggs wins the match 11 minutes and 26 seconds. MF, we will most definitely address this. One of the few good matches here. Josh Briggs over Tavion Heights, 11-26.
Yeah, this is a 3-star bout. Solid matchup. Could have been better in certain areas, but I'm not mad about the outcome. Yeah, this was a good outcome. Nothing more to say. So yeah, nothing more to say, and Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.25 for this one. I mean, a solid match here, but man, Josh Briggs continues to hear from the fans. I mean, he continues to have that go away heat. So yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. It's yours for you.
It's safe to say that Josh Briggs and Kalani Jordan are the two most hated in NXT right now, based on the go away heat that they were getting. Josh Briggs is one of those guys who has a ton of talent, the right size, and the physical ability to do anything WWE needs. But his character is getting stale, and it feels like he needs something to change so he doesn't end up fading into the background. Tavion Heights, on the other hand, feels like someone who is just starting to put everything together. He started at the PC a little over 3 years ago and is already an exciting performer in the ring. If he can keep progressing at this rate, he could be on the main roster within a year or two tops. These two men know each other and work well together. The fight started outside the ring before the referee could even ring the bell. They did a good job making this feel like a grudge match by being as physical as possible. Solid match that made both guys look like tough competitors. Josh Briggs even the score by getting the pin with a huge lariat. I'm guessing a possible rubber match is probably going to be set up soon enough. So the barricade spot was cooler than usual because more pieces of it broke. It looked slightly less planned than usual, but it was definitely still planned. So not much more to add here. 3 to 3.25 stars for this one. Then we had another in-ring segment, and this was one we were waiting for. Izzy Dame and the Colleen came out to explain why they kicked Tatum Paxley out of the group. Izzy Dame said she tried to help Tatum, but she was too stubborn to listen. Tatum appears on the screen and said she would make Izzy Dame feel her pain at Deadline. So there's another match for the Deadline pay-per-view. Izzy Dame, Tatum Paxley, and we'll preview that. We'll preview the Deadline card Thursday night as part of our College Football Thursday season finale. I'll explain that at the end of the show. Lost in that opening segment with the women, that women's summit, a 6-woman tag team match was made by General Manager Ava. All 3 members of Fatal Influence, the NXT Women's Champion JC Jane, the Women's Speed Champion Fallon Henley, and Lainey Reed squaring off against it was Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, and Kendall Gray. the women's Evolve champion. Ren Sinclair was in their corner. Winners of the match, 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Sol Ruca, Lola Vice, and the women's Evolve champion, Kendall Gray. Sol Ruca with the Soul Snatcher, pinning JC Jane, the women's champion. Michael Bullock, Mr. NXT. I think we got 2 words for our we got 3 words for our viewers out there. What does this mean?
Championship committee moment.
You damn right.
Yeah, anytime you pin the champion, you're definitely in line for a title shot. I mean, so yeah, that's a huge moment there for Sol Ruca. So, what was the time again, Florio?
11 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give this about another 3.25 stars here. So, yeah, nice win. But right afterwards, after the match was over, Zarya comes out and then spears the Evolve champ Kendall Gray. Now the question is,
Who was that
she
spear meant
aiming for Sol Ruca, or was she aiming for Kendall Gray?
She was aiming for Sol.
That looked, yeah, because of the
she was aiming for Sol.
But because of the trajectory and the way she was making that beeline, that looked like Sol was definitely in the line of fire. Very smart move by Lola grabbing Sol when she did. But poor Kendall, man, she got folded in half with that spear.
Oof.
Major ouch on that.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the baby girl, man. That had to hurt. Yeah, and even Ren Sinclair's like, what the hell are you doing? Why did you do that?
Yeah, not the kind of person you want to say that to, Ren Sinclair, because at some point,
Ren Sinclair had every right to yell at her because that's her friend. Kendall Gray and her are wicked tight. That was uncalled for.
Yeah, but the thing is, do you want to anger someone like Zarya?
Yeah, I guess you're right, but still, she has a right to be pissed.
Agree, but any other person, okay, but when it's Zarya, especially with the mood she's in right now, wrong place, wrong time. And Zarya may make Ren Sinclair pay for that, so we'll see. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah. The baby faces work together better in the early minutes to take control. They hit some nice high-flying moves to take out Fatal Influence multiple times. This was a high-energy match with some fun moments, but it felt a little rushed in places. They didn't take enough time to sell the big impact, so it felt like they were just going from move to move. Sol Ruca pinning JC Jane with the Soul Snatcher. Zarya tried to hit Sol with a spear after the match, but she missed and took out Kendall Gray. And it caused a huge argument between Zarya and Sol Ruca.
Mm-hmm.
And the audio kept dropping out, possibly to censor something being yelled by the crowd, but it ruined some of Izzy Dame's promo beforehand. And Zarya told Ruca she would not be at ringside in her corner for her at that moment. So that's a 3.25 star match for me. And based on Sol pinning the champion, you may have to consider Sol Ruca. I mean, I know you guys were talking about Kalani as the favorite, but Sol Ruca just pinned the NXT Women's Champion. Could they be hinting at Sol Ruca winning the Women's Iron Survivor match? Could be. 3 to 3.25 MF. What do you make of all this?
I agree with that, but I think Zarya is going to be the reason why Sol does not win Iron Survivor. I think Sol's gonna. I think Zarya is going to cost Sol the Iron Survivor. I really think so, and that's why I think that's going to happen. You know, whatever the case may be, whatever it is may be, but at the end of the day, I think that's how it's going to play out. But no, this was easily 3.25, 3.5. Solid matchup. Nothing more to say. Yeah, Anthony, it's yours.
Okay. Moving on. All right. Briggs and Heights, the sixth woman. All right. Then we had another cutout, Out the Mud, Lucian Price and Bronco Nima versus Uriah Connors and Cale Dixon of Chase University. And it was Out the Mud winning the match, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. We're not going to really waste time on this. I'll tell you what, Chase U looked better than expected, but the match as a whole was nothing to write home about. We're not going to really, why get into that. Let's see. And then Ethan Page was leaving the Performance Center, telling Ava he deserves the night off of being the hardest working double champion in WWE. Ava said that Ethan Page is due to defend his North American title. Page was in the driver's seat, but Mr. Iguana was in the passenger seat. I hear you. I hear the snickering. Right
Not just Mr. Iguana.
La Yesca too.
Page ran out, freaked out, and La Yesca, yes, Mr. Iguana and La Yesca basically commandeered the ride. What to say that? Yes, I hear you, MF.
Man, that's gonna cause some trouble. That's gonna get Iguana into some big time trouble now. I mean, look, AAA's got a big show coming up in a couple of weeks on December 20th. War of Titans, and this may cause some uproar because we already know Ethan Page is supposed to be fighting El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. for the Latin American Championship in AAA. So this is a big fight, guys. So this is a big event going down in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. And it's going to be exclusively on YouTube, on the AAA and WWE site. So just to let you know, it will be televised. By the way, there's really nothing more to say.
One more thing to say about this matter. Ethan Page, Mr. Iguana for the North American Championship, added to Deadline.
Oof.
That's something else we will discuss on Thursday night.
Now here's the interesting. Oh, I was going to say, here's the interesting part. Sorry. I'll be quick. Here's the interesting part. We already know Chelsea Green is going to be in the side of Ethan Page. I think it's a given.
Definitely.
Who will Mr. Iguana have on his side, just in case if Chelsea does get involved? Now in AAA. Yeah, I think you just said it for me, Florio. You said the whole story. It's probably
like Ray Davies and the Kinks sang all those years ago. Lola.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a Lola Vice. It's gonna be a Lola Vice. I think it will be too. I totally agree. I think Iguana's gonna ask Lola, "Hey, can you have my back?" She's gonna say yes. I know Lola. She and Iguana's become quite besties, to say the very least. So I mean, we'll have to see how this plays out. But oh boy, things are gonna get very interesting at Deadline. I'll say that.
We the history with Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana, well documented. MF, you've been on top of that. You and your boys that follow that call AAA on the side. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that situation come Saturday night for sure. Main event of the evening, 8-man tag team matchup. Dion Lennox is one of the competitors in the Iron Survivor Challenge, handpicked by John Cena on the men's side. He had his boys, Dark State, Osiris Griffin, Saquon Sugars, and Cutler James, all 4 members, going up against the 4 men who Dion Lennox will face in the men's Iron Survivor match on Saturday night. Joe Hendry, Javon Evans, the TNA X Division champion Leon Slater, and Miles Bourne. Whoever wins gets to pick the order that they enter the Iron Survivor match in. And the winners of the match in 14 minutes and 48 seconds, Miles Bourne, Leon Slater, Javon Evans, and Joe Hendry. Had Dark State won this match, then Dion Lennox would have picked the order that the competitors would enter. But since Miles Bourne won, I think it's his choice as to how the competitors will enter the Iron Survivor match on Saturday night.
Yes, because Miles got the winning fall, Miles gets to pick the order. Yes.
Very interesting. 14:48, the time of the fall. And I'll go as far as to say this was the fight of the night. I'll give this about 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4 of a star. This week's tonight's main event with this 8-man tag, Ava added stakes to it. The person who got the win for the babyface team would get to pick their spot in the Iron Survivor match. If anyone from Dark State won, Dion Lennox would have gotten the pick. As expected, this was a high-impact match with a lot of physicality. All 8 of these guys are young and hungry, so nobody wanted to be overlooked. It would be hard to pick a standout performer, but Javon Evans would probably be the consensus. He not only had some great moments on offense, but he also sold for Dark State really well. Miles Bourne ends up stealing the pin for his team to get the win and earn the right to choose his spot in the Iron Survivor match. The announcer said Ava signed off on Lennox giving his title to Sugar so he could pursue singles gold. The way Javon Evans took out Saquon Sugars with a tope suicida in the announce table was absolutely nuts. What a spot. So 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4 of a star, fight of the night, and a huge win for Miles Bourne. Could it lead to an even bigger win come Saturday night? It could. But if I'm being honest, for me, when it comes to the men's side, I'm leaning towards Javon Evans to win this match. I'm just saying. 3.5, 3 3/4, MF, Bourne, Slater, Evans, and Hendry defeating Dark State in the main event. 14:48, Miles Bourne is in the catbird seat.
Yeah, he definitely is in the catbird seat, no doubt about it. 3 1/4, 3.5 stars is my rating for the show, for the match, I should say. Nothing more to say, Bullock. Go.
Yeah, 3 1/4, 3.5 stars for the main event. I mean, yeah, it was good. I mean, like you said, now obviously Miles Bourne gets to pick the order, so we'll see what happens. So nothing more to say except let's get into our overall thoughts on this edition of NXT.
And before I give it to MF to start, there was one last order of business. They had a super quick backstage contract signing, Ricky Saints and Obafemi for the NXT Championship match. Ava with a bombshell. For the first time ever in an NXT Premium Live event in history, Ricky Saints, Obafemi, NXT Championship match, guys, is going to jumpstart Deadline. MF, what do you say about that?
That's a huge announcement, no doubt about it. But here's the reason why: because of the Iron Survivors being as monumental as it is on both sides. This is the right decision to do. Let the two biggest stars eat at the beginning. You can fill it out after that. But to give us the NXT title fight right out of the gate is excellent. Brilliant move by NXT. Brilliant move by Ava, Shawn Michaels, and the crew. That's exactly how you want to do it. Even though I think Ricky Saints is going to successfully defend the title, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a very good matchup, to say the very least. But yeah, great way to start it. Overall, I got to give it another 7.5. I thought it was a solid show. I think they did really good. There was only maybe 1 or 2 cutouts the whole night. The rest of the stuff was actually really good. So solid NXT. Well done. 7.5. Bullock, go.
Bullock, are you there?
Yeah, I mean, how about that with the NXT title kicking off the show? But yeah, but obviously because of the Iron Survivor Challenge is gonna be the headliner, so that's a good move there. So 7.5, nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
The opening match right out of the box. That's awesome. 7.5. Tonight's episode of NXT was the go home show before deadline, but it didn't really feel like pushing the PLE was a huge priority for some odd reason. Even though most of the segments dealt with the upcoming event in some way, it just never felt like there was the expected sense of urgency heading into a big show. The match between Briggs and Heights was one of the best things we got all night, but the main event will be the favorite for all of us due to how many big spots it included. Women's division continues to be slightly more interesting than the men's division in some ways, and Sol Ruca has been at the center of a lot of it. It would be shocking if WWE did not call her up to the main roster soon. 7.5. One last order of business quickly. We will get into Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime Video. And we got a good one here, guys. We got a good one. NFC playoff implications. Big ones. The Dallas Cowboys versus the Detroit Lions. Ford Field in Detroit. And, of course, you know who's working this as always. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung. And the spread currently favors Detroit. Detroit opening up as a 3-point favorite. Dallas leads the regular season series 17-12. Last meeting was last year in Dallas, and Detroit absolutely smashed Dallas 47-9 in Jerry World, snapping a 6-game losing streak to Dallas, including playoffs. The Lions have not beaten the Cowboys at home in a regular season since 2013, 31-30. Dallas won the last meeting in Detroit in 2019, 35-27. So here we go, boys. Both teams are in the thick of the NFC playoff hunt. Dallas has allowed 69.7 rushing yards a game through a 3-game winning streak. Detroit is at home and in desperation mode in the NFC North. The Lions have allowed 29 points a game in their last 3 home games. The Dallas Cowboys offense is on fire with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb staying hot as a new dynamic duo. Dak Prescott will get to go to work on a reeling Lions defense on the road without the elements. The Lions are set to be down a key weapon with Amon-Ra St. Brown with an ankle injury, with whom to attack Dallas's improved defense. Goff still get into a high-scoring back-and-forth affair with Brandon Aubrey nailing the game winner. It's very tough to call, but if Amon-Ra St. Brown is not a go, I got to give the edge to Dallas. I think Dallas steals it here. 34-31. Give me the Dallas Cowboys to defeat the Detroit Lions on Thursday Night Football with major playoff implications. So, not much more to say. MF, we got three big playoff games on our side of the ledger. 3 big playoff implication games. The other side has 3. This is one of them. This is their number 3 game of the week. Dallas and Detroit. Huge implications.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely big implications. And I'm with you, Anthony. If Amon-Ra St. Brown cannot play, I don't see Detroit winning this game. I'm in agreement. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. I think Dallas is going to win this one. So nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours.
Well, like you said, I mean, if Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't play, I think it's going to be tough for the Lions. So, yeah, I'm actually going to go with the Dallas Cowboys to win this one. So, nothing more to say except let's put a bow on this edition, Florio.
And that will indeed put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We will be back with you again at 10:30 on Thursday night for our season finale of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday Championship Week. We only have five conference championship games featuring top 25 teams, headline, gentlemen, by the game of the century. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana, for the Big Ten Championship. Whoa. And in addition to that, because of the fact that we only have 5 games to get into, I think we can definitely get in a quick preview of NXT Deadline. We'll preview that. There's only 5 matches on that card. And then Friday night, we will have NFL Friday. We'll recap Cowboys and Lions. And then we'll get into the other remaining games on the docket. And then Saturday night, hopefully, right around that 10:30 threshold after Deadline, we'll have the Cerebral Smack Talk. Maybe we'll get into SmackDown. Maybe we'll get into Deadline as well. And then 1 week from tonight, we do it all over again, Ridiculously Raw. Monday Night Raw's final show before John Cena's farewell. NXT's fallout from Deadline. And then we will preview next week's Thursday Night Football game, which is the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an NFC South matchup. So that's it. So until Thursday night for our season finale of College Football Thursday, this is Anthony Florio here for Good Old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and of course, always and forever, our First Lady, the one and only Twisted Angel Didi Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Thursday night for the season finale of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.